Ambassador, thank you for being here with us. Now, apart from the obvious reason that President Donald Trump gave for rejecting this deal, which is that, Iran did not stop building its nuclear program, even though he didn't provide any evidence, was he right in saying that this was a bad deal for the United States? I mean, other people have looked at it and said, yes, this deal does not really deal with all of the issues, but it deals with the main issue, which is the nuclear program.
Let's go back in time. At the time, Trump first said that the deal was a bad deal. This was immediately after he declared for the presidency. At that particular time, the deal was a bad deal for Trump. He has not seen the document, he has not read it. And there are still some doubts whether he has actually read the document in full. Because if you listen to the broadcast he made, pulling out of the deal, virtually everything he said is not in the deal, it's in the deal. If you take the case of Iran, for example, being a sponsor of terrorism and the rest of it, now that was not what the deal was set out to address. But it was also stated that after the nuclear thing has been taken care of, these other issues, they will begin to address the issue. So I'm not too sure how much knowledge the President of the United States has, the totality of the deal itself. But most of what he complained about, it's in the deal. The Iranians are not, they virtually stopped
financing terror.
No, not financing, they virtually stopped their nuclear program because the IAE, goes in there, I think, monthly to inspect, and they have inspectors and cameras all over the place. And as most people familiar with the issue have said, the deal as it is today is working. Even Thomson intelligence, institutions have said the deal is working.
But even the issue of financing terrorist groups, I think that is an accusation that should go to all of the other countries involved. For example, what's going on in Syria.
Including the United States.
Yes, exactly. And they're all involved somehow in financing some groups which were supposed to topple the Assad government.
But you see, you also have to go back in history. I make this point sometimes that who exactly is the Iranians financing? Mostly the Palestinians to start with. And why are they financing the Palestinians? The Palestinians are fighting for justice, for fairness, and for freedom. And guess what? Every nation in this world that has fought for freedom cited the United States as an example of a country that fought to free itself from the British. But in recent times, we've termed those freedom fighters as terrorists, and anybody supporting them, you now declare them, to be supporting, to be promoting or supporting terrorism. But you also have to actually go back even more to understand why the United States, has these bad feelings towards Iran. And actually, Tom did mention it right from when the Shah was overthrown and the United States embassy was taken over. I don't think that people like Trump and a number of Americans are prepared yet, to overlook that or to forgive Iran.
Yeah, and he's stirring up things and more in the Middle East as he moves the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, as he promised. I think that's happening this week. But can this deal survive without the support of the United States?
Well, on the long run, it's doubtful, and it will depend on two things. Number one, it will depend whether the other signatories to the deal, they have already said they are going to make the deal work, they are going to keep to it. But now it will also depend if they are ready to challenge the United States or ignore the United States. But because for most people, trading with the United States is essential or critical.
Yeah, those sanctions are actually going to affect, those businesses.
Oh, they are going to affect a lot of businesses, yeah. A lot of businesses.
Yeah, a lot of them have already started speaking up, and they're, examining how this would affect them in the long run. But Iran also wants to continue to trade with the United States. They want that market to be open. And they say if they're able to work that out with the other members, the other parties to the deal, then fine, they will stay in the deal. But they're also threatening to pull out. So what impact will that have, and how dangerous will that be?
I think for quite some time, I believe Iran is going to stay in the deal and see whether I believe they're going to find the middle of the roadway out of this. For once, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. The Iranians made some concessions. They made some sacrifice because they wanted certain things to be done to improve their own economy. And there was a great applaud when this deal was signed inside Iran, especially, by the very large youthful population, that maybe with the reduction of tension, the economy will blossom and that will provide jobs and everything for them. So everybody was looking forward that this deal would definitely change the economic fortunes of Iran. Unfortunately, I don't think that has started to happen before, the deal. I mean, Trump pulled out of this deal.
But it can't happen because that deal was signed in 2015. It really hasn't been given the time.
It hasn't been given the time, and there's still other issues that has not been resolved. For example, when you hear Donald Trump say that so much huge money was given to the Iranians.
Yeah, free money, he said.
Yeah, free money, the way he puts it. Everybody thinks that this is American money. It is not American money. It is part of the Iranian reserves of money that was affected by the sanctions that Obama allowed just some percentage as part of the deal to go immediately. The rest, they blocked it. So the impact the deal would have had on Iran hasn't actually started before before the new situation.
And how dangerous will this be for the rest of the world? First of all, the impact it will have on the region itself, which is shaky right now because they're not sure which way Iran will go. You hear the Iranian president say that they're willing to work with the other parties. Then you also hear the Iranian supreme leader saying the U.S. will regret this. Well,
look, if Iran decides to resume, its nuclear program, be rest assured that Saudi Arabia is also going to decide to go into the same program. And so you have something like an arms race. We don't know who else would also decide to join the group. Israel, we all know, nobody talks about that, but it has its own nuclear program as well. So you see a region that is going to be further destabilized. It is already destabilized, but it's just going to get worse with everybody now becoming a nuclear power. Maybe somewhere along the line, we get to the situation we had years ago, the balance of terror. As you can see in the case of India and Pakistan, they've become reasonable to one another when both of them became nuclear, nations.
But I'm wondering if North Korea will not become a good example in this situation. I mean, they were also developing nuclear weapons. They claim to have developed a hydrogen bomb that can go all the way to mainland United States and so on. And they pressed on with their program, ignoring the United States, ignoring the threats and so on.
I think
and made a decision by themselves to stop.
I think the young man is playing a very intelligent game. Look, he's gotten everybody to where he believes he wants everybody to negotiate with him. And look, do you know what he says? Most people don't realize this. Do you know what it is for a country like North Korea to take the United States president out of the United States? Listen, everybody goes to America to see the president of the United States, for goodness sake. This is the only guy that has said, look, you want to meet? Fine, let's.
and that makes Kim Jong-un the winner in the end.
At the end of the day, for me, I just think that this is his game, and he's playing a very good game in this business.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see how the U.S. handles this and the rest of the world also. Ambassador Keshi, always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you again.
When we come back after the break, the British Deputy High Commission partners with Nigeria to fight modern-day slavery. Stay with us.